Programming is supported by the Minnesota Historical Society. Minnesota history is packed with great stories. Pull any thread and you'll unravel new perspectives on our shared history. Subscribe to the Minnesota Unraveled podcast wherever you get podcasts.
Support comes from Lutheran Social Service, strengthening individuals and families with resources to improve their economic, social, health, and housing stability through financial counseling, employment, housing, and youth support services. lssmn.org.
It's All Things Considered on NPR News. 3 Democratic governors, including Minnesota's Tim Walz, testified before Congress today about immigration and immigration enforcement in the state. The hearing, which was mostly political theater, included questioning from a handful of Minnesota representatives. Peter Cox reports.
3 Democratic governors faced grilling from Congress over their cooperation with federal immigration authorities. The hearing comes as immigration is in the spotlight nationally. The Trump administration is amping up arrests of undocumented immigrants and called in the military to respond to protests. The House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform opened with the committee chair introducing the family of a woman who was killed in a hit-and-run in Illinois by a driver who was in the country illegally.
3 sanctuary state governors from Minnesota, New York, and Illinois are here to testify under oath about why they allow criminal illegal aliens to roam free in American communities.
This is Committee Chair James Comer, a Republican from Kentucky.
Let me be clear. Sanctuary policies do not protect Americans. They protect criminal illegal aliens.
That set the tone for the hearing. Republicans hammered on crimes committed by undocumented immigrants, though government studies have shown undocumented immigrants have a lower offending rate than U.S.-born citizens. Democrats pushed back against large-scale immigration arrests and using the military to respond to protesters. Walz opened up by saying Minnesota has had its lowest total crime rate in decades. Both violent crime and murder are at their lowest point in 5 years, but still higher than the last decade.
But nothing Minnesota has done to serve its own people stands in the way of the federal government managing border security and policies. While you've convened this hearing to explore the issue of so-called sanctuary states, Minnesota is not even a sanctuary state.
Walz said Minnesota law enforcement cooperates with federal agencies.
But enforcing immigration law is not the role of local and state governments. The fact is, Congress has given federal agencies the authority to enforce immigration laws across this country. That includes Minnesota, and I support them doing so. It's the federal government's job to secure the border.
Republican Congressman Tom Emmer of Delano went after Walz's legislative record as governor, in which undocumented immigrants were extended rights to have a driver's license, free tuition at state schools for qualifying students, or to have access to the state health plan Minnesota Care, though undocumented adult coverage will end later this year.
If you claim you're not a sanctuary state, you just claim that you support policies. You're not a sanctuary state, but you support policies that prevent ICE from doing their job.
Congressman,
isn't that right?
That is incorrect, Congressman. We follow the same laws when you were in the Minnesota House. The law has not changed, sir.
Emmer says states like Florida have local law enforcement doing immigration checks and says Minnesota should too. Emmer also brought up Walz's commencement address at the University of Minnesota Law School, in which Walz criticized ICE tactics.
You said, quote, Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. When you said the words modern-day Gestapo, you were referring to ICE agents. Gestapo, by the way, sir, was the official secret police of Hitler's Nazi Germany. So you're calling ICE agents modern-day Nazis.
Walz was not given a chance to respond then, but he did when asked about it later.
What I said, Congressman, and I have a long history of supporting law enforcement, I said President Trump was using them as his modern-day Gestapo, not identifying who you are, coming up in unmarked vans, taking people away and giving...
Is it the responsibility of ICE to actually deport illegal aliens in the United States who are here? Isn't that their responsibility?
Yes, it is, Congressman, except that the Constitution is not an inconvenience.
The hearing included a a.m., lasted